just listen. I am delirious a lot now, Lois. The last dream wasn't bad, though. We were married, and we had a baby. A little girl, like we both said we wanted.
Remember, Lois, that time we went to Myrtle Beach, those marvelous, miraculous 5 days? That was when I first gave you the name, wasn't it?
They're hearing
Luscious
it now,
Lois.
Mark. It's on the radio.
Well, in my dream, we had a baby, and she was real, Lois. And for a minute, I wasn't thirsty, and I wasn't scared. She was real, and she had a name, the name we talked about at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the name we said we'd give a daughter. Remember, Lois? Phoebe. In my dream, our daughter's name was Phoebe. That was the letter found today 6 miles north of the Luscious Lois, New York Bulletin.
Oh, Mark, this is going to be awful. I'll call you back.
Well, Miss Hawley, since your folks seem to be busy inside for a moment, may I ask you a question or two? Just routine things, dear. How old are you?
I'm 19.
And your folks, I didn't get that part. They've been married for about 20 years?
No, 16. I was adopted. They adopted me when I was 4 years old.
When you were born in 1943. Lizzie, could the boys in the Pentagon have goofed on this one? They've been wrong when they said Chris Bering had no next of kin?
What are you trying to do? Destroy these people.
You trying to teach me my job, sweetheart?
It's locked.
Well, what do you suggest, Miss Hogan? Mr. and Mrs. Hawley are unavailable. Shall we all stand around and sing the White Cliffs of Dover? Or shall we try to round out our stories a bit and get a few more details from the young lady here?
George, honey, I just don't know what to think.
Well, I do. It's not so hard.
You mean the name, the coincidence, the Phoebe business?
Lois, stop it. This dream world, this fluffiness, there just isn't any time. Those reporters out there, especially that wise one, the one they call Ernie, I was watching him. He was making fun of you all night. We're in a mess now, Lois, and there is no place to hide. They're going to start asking you questions about Chris, about Myrtle Beach, about that name. I hope to God you know the answers.
The name, sweetheart? I don't know. I'm just standing here. I don't know. I don't know if I was conscious of doing this thing or if I remembered his request and honored his request, and if I did, how could I be so dumb?
Yes, you did. You established it. Dramatically, loudly, coast to coast, you established it. Yes, you did.
It was a gesture of tenderness towards the dead, like you throw flowers into a grave. You can see that, George? Say something to me, George. You can see that, George? Help me. I'm standing here. Say something to me.
All right, I'll say... All right, I'll say something. I'll say the truth, as I know it. Because it's here now. It's out. It's escaped. It's in this room now. Lois, you cheated me. All this time. That bluebird that's been in every bedroom where we've ever lived. All those old records from the 40s that you loved to play. The name of that child. You cheated me, Lois. And yourself and Phoebe, our whole marriage, our family. Because you've been playing a pathetic secret game all these years. You didn't have Chris Bering's child, but you made believe that you did. Now, Phoebe and I have got to try to handle that. Lois, 19 years, looking backwards. Well, we've got to try to handle it. And so do you.
How?
Grow up.
Is that all you can say?
But that's everything. Chris never had a chance to grow up. You did. And you frittered away nearly 20 years of our life. Now, don't waste any more time, Lois. We don't have that much left. Don't flirt with your daughter's boyfriend anymore. Don't make a joke out of yourself anymore. Silly fool. Grow up.
It's just too hard on you, Mr. Hawley, trying to answer those questions.
Daddy, I have to know something.
What, sweetheart, what?
Is it true what you've always told me?
What, baby, what?
You always told me. I always accepted it. Am I really an adopted child? That man out there, he was insinuating things. Terrible things.
You are what I always told you you were. Our child, our adopted child. Your parents, sweetheart, were killed in an automobile accident when you were a baby. I know their names. I can show you their names on the papers we signed when we promised to love and care for you.
Oh, Daddy, I'm so glad.
You know something? Me too. Me too, Phoebe.
Oh, but Daddy, don't call me that anymore. Don't call me Phoebe.
Sweetheart, look at me. Baby. Baby, what does that mean? A name. Phoebe. Phoebe? What? That means you to me. Don't you see that? It's not a word that somebody wrote in a letter. It's not an insinuation from that smart aleck reporter, Ernie, but it's you. The little girl who was 4. The little girl we loved from the moment we saw her. When I called you Phoebe that first time, it was nice. It was part of us. It's beautiful. I love you. I love the name. Okay, Phoebe?
Okay, Daddy.
Oh, Miss Hogan, excuse me.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Hawley. I'm on your side.
I really think you are.
Daddy, you better find her. You better hurry.
I don't know where to look. I don't know how long I'll be gone.
Well, it's all right, Mr. Hawley. I'll look out for her.
Just remember, we both love you. Your mother and I.
You know, Phoebe, I think most families have moments like this somewhere along the line. One of their own flesh and blood does something terribly wrong. And it embarrasses them, humiliates them. But I think that's when a family is a family. When they all pull together. You know what I mean?
I do. I really do.
You've been staring at me.
Yeah, I suppose I have.
My name's Al. What do you want to drink alone for? You mind if I join you?
No, please.
What's that?
I just don't want you sitting here.
What's the matter? You run out of music?
Later, Captain.
Let's have some TV at least.
Oh, sure.
Some way to treat one of the heroes of the Battle of the Potomac. Now, do you think that was nice, lady? Giving me the come on and then the brush off a Pentagon patriot like me?
As seen from the air, a 20-year desert mystery unfolds. The Luscious Lois found at last. Grim follow-up to the desert discovery. Remains of the crew, dust and scraps of clothing, boots and pieces of paper bleached by the desert sun, being flown home to America for burial services among their loved ones. But there will be no hometown funeral for this man, Captain Chris Bering, because he has left no survivors. His remains are being flown down here to the nation's capital for burial tomorrow at Arlington National Cemetery. The plane will land in Washington within an hour.
Excuse me.
The usual slight snafu, Nick. Services are set for 9 in the morning. You won't get much sleep.
No, that's okay, Colonel. I'll be there.
You want to lift into town?
Well, Lizzie Hogan of our Washington Bureau might have met me, but I don't see anybody.
There's a lady standing over there by that gate.
That's our Washington Bureau for you, always on the job. So long now. Lizzie? Excuse me. Hey, wait. You're Lois, aren't you? I recognize you from the picture. I saw it in the plane out in the desert. I'm Nick Alexander. I just flew back with
The boot? The other boot. Did they ever find it?
Yes, Miss Hurley.
So far to walk so far just with one boot. How far?
About 6 miles, I'd say.
It's been a terrible day. I've had a few drinks.
Sure.
I came here. I don't know why. I thought I should. I better go now.
Mrs. Holly, wait. I have something that belongs to you.
Chris's letter.
Yes.
Thank you.